little launch control. And we just hit 100. All of having some turbos is this. You can barely hear it, but we got turbo noises, people. And if you're worried about gas mileage, our MPG currently is 14.2, which is diabolical. But again, that is me stepping on it every time I get the chance and making turbo noises. So 2, 1, go. Damn, it's way too quick. And super confident too. So this thing's got to be powered by a 3.5 liter V6 with 380 horsepower, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Those are the specs for the kinda new 2023 Ford Expedition. But let's get back into the video and tell you more about this car. (2023) Ford Expedition. Ladies and gentlemen, we have upgraded. Gone are the days of $20,000 cars. We have upgraded to $60,000 cars, and that is roughly the MSRP of this gigantic 7-seater presented to you by Ford. This is what our Kia looks like, and we're gonna do a quick little walk around, and I'll give you my honest thoughts and feedback of a vehicle like this. Door handle is hidden away, but it's kind of neat. It's a beautiful, nice summer day, so we're gonna see how well this gigantic 7-seater handles. But look at this monster. It's beautiful, it's luxury, and when you're driving it, you do feel kind of posh, you feel kind of rich. We don't have the stealth version, so we have a ton of chrome going around, decently sized rims, and we also have a little full tilt here so that you don't have to like jump into the car every single time. And as you can see, I'm like standing at 6 foot exact, and this thing is gigantic. I can't even see on top of it. That's how big this thing is. Going inside, you can see XLT badging out here. Not much going on in the back seat, but if you want to have extra space, you have dedicated buttons to move it all around. Which makes it much easier than trying to grab something and pull it. Now you have a ton of space. And yes, this is a 7-seater, not an 8-seater, but a 7-seater. And yes, you can fold all of them down, which does take some getting used to figure out what button does what, but it's pretty simple. And you also have a dedicated button back here to close it up for you. Hopping inside, you see this amount of back space over here, and good looking back seats as well. Like, these ones don't seem to be heated or ventilated, but you also have your AC controls back here, so you don't have much to worry about. And some quick little specs about this one. This is going to be powered by a 3.6 liter V6 with some turbos attached to it. This one puts around 380 horsepower and around just about 400 pound-foot of torque. And yes, it does have the iconic 10-speed automatic transmission that you know Ford loves to slap in pretty much all their vehicles. And since you guys know me, we're gonna instantly put this into sport mode. As you can see, we have multiple modes to choose from. We have tow, sport, eco, normal, slippery, sand, and mud. Which shows you that this car is capable of going off-road. Will I take it off-road? No. I feel way too posh to be taking a car like this off-road. Yes, it can go off-road, but it just doesn't feel right having a car like this off-road. A car like this strives on the highway. This is the kind of car you want to have when you're going on long cruises with friends or family, or just long road trips. And since we're in sport mode, we're gonna do a quick little launch control. We just hit 100. Holy, that was quick. You don't really feel the weight of this car, even though it's a big, bulky car. Like, with fully loaded and this thing accelerates this quickly, you'd know for a fact this car is supposed to be on a highway, and this is where the car would drive at. And the thing about it, it's like it's so smooth at everything it does. When you look at it, you think it's gonna be hard to maneuver, it's gonna be big and bulky, but look at this, one hand and you can like easily maneuver it. It's nimble enough, surprisingly, for such a big car. I don't know what kind of black magic Ford did to this big truck, well, not even truck, this big SUV, to make it this nimble while being this huge, while putting out the same amount of power it does. Like, it's impressive. And let's talk about the way this car drives and the way it just floats over everything. This road is really not perfect, but it's just floating over all the cracks, the crevices, and all the imperfections on the road. I barely feel it. Part of me does want to compare it to the Jeep Wagoneer in terms of smoothness, but I feel like the Wagoneer is a little bit more smooth compared to this one. Also, the Wagoneer does feel a little bit more bulkier. This one's more nimble, so you have to pick your battles. But overall, the turbocharged engine feels very, very adequate. I was worried because this is my first time driving an Expedition. I know that they used to have the V8s in them all the time, but then they switched it around and put the turbocharged V6, which honestly doesn't feel that much of a downgrade, because the biggest benefit of having some turbos is this. You can barely hear it, but we got turbo noises, people, and good sounding turbos too. Of course, you can make them sound louder if you really wanted to, but... And we have collision alerts. Don't worry about it's gonna hit it, but you can hear our little turbos putting their hearts and souls into making this car move the way it is. And another cool feature that I really do like is that you can see what gear you're in over here. So right now we're in 5th gear. If I step on it, drop all the way to 2nd, and we just take off almost instantly. Like, acceleration is so smooth, the power delivery is so smooth, it's just bam, 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 and we go. I really love how Ford has made a car like this, like, usable, it's livable. You can take it anywhere, and surprisingly, yes, you can fit it in drive-thrus. Big surprise, we're in America. Half the time we are in a drive-thru ordering food somewhere. But let's talk about the infotainment system and all the stereo that we have in here. So let's just play some music. Like, bumping stereo system. 10 out of 10, would highly recommend. And we do have a ton of storage. We have storage down here. We're gonna have some storage, a ton of storage down here as well too. There's like little hidden gems of storage everywhere that you can just look and find storage sitting somewhere. It's impressive, but again, you would expect it from a car this gigantic, known as the Expedition. So of course, we're gonna take this thing out on the highway, which is literally to my left. We're gonna see how this car drives and how she handles on the highway. We're gonna quickly activate our cruise control and see how she does. I honestly have high expectations because it's an American car. Half of the time for Americans or Canadians, we spend half our driving time on the highway. And if you're worried about gas mileage, our MPG currently is 14.2, which is diabolical. But again, that is me stepping on it every time I get the chance and making turbo noises. So it's most likely much, much lower than this. But for me, wow, I did not expect it to take the corner that confidently. So alright, we got the facts. This thing is smooth. It surprisingly corners really well for such a big car. You think it'll topple over or hesitate to take a corner kind of fast, but it doesn't really mind, to be honest. Again, Ford is doing some black magic, because a car like this big should not feel this nimble or this reactive this easily. And don't worry, the size is something you can get used to very quickly. And of course, we're gonna have lane keep assist. Come on, lady, go, go, go. We have lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring. Acceleration is just something to get used to, because it boggles my mind how big a car this is and how quickly it accelerates. Then if you want to get into, let's say, Dodge with the Hellcats that are apparently faster than this one, it's crazy to think how they make SUVs this gigantic so quick than anything else. It's mind-boggling, but it makes life interesting when you have fun cars, you know. Yeah, I'm still making those turbo sounds every single time. Am I burning extra gas? Of course I am. But it is what it is. So we're gonna merge onto the highway and we're gonna get our adaptive cruise control ready to go. We're gonna just slow down a bit because I know for a fact there is nobody behind us. And we're just gonna go from 40 and see how she goes. 3, 2, 1, go. Damn, it's way too quick. And super confident too. Like absolutely no problem just getting off the line. I would expect a little bit of lag because again it's turbocharged, but nah, no hesitation, no nothing, just takes off and goes. And to set your cruise control you just have to press this button and our cruise control is set to 83. Our adaptive cruise control should be up and going so that we don't crash into somebody. But it's very simple and very easy to use. We're now going 100 kilometers per hour or 60 miles per hour for my Americans. And I'm pretty sure this car is soft limited because no way this car accelerates that quickly all the way to 200, because by the time I let off the gas I was going 120 and 10 seconds hadn't even passed at that point. So it's a monster. This thing is a monster. Perfect family SUV, but it's still a damn monster, and I love it for that. But anyway guys, this has been Morty in the 2023 Ford Expedition XLT with a 3.5 liter turbocharged V6 pushing 380 horsepower with a 10-speed automatic transmission and 4-wheel drive. Take care guys, and peace.